Yes, sir. Back again, back again. Running you another part of the Bible. Okay, that's why Christ said, "Know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." Okay, John 8, verse 32. So today I got a lot of books and stuff like that, and I'm snatching pieces from out of books that help to edify the Bible. Okay, so to give you further assistance out of the Bible, so you can see the truth that is in the words of truth. And that's all I deal with. I deal with the words of truth, man. I don't deal with no philosophies. I don't deal with no religions. I don't deal with no theories. But what I do is I destroy these lies. Through the word of the Lord, I destroy these lies. Why? Because that's my job. My job is to warn you. My job is to teach you. For those of you that are willing to hear, for those of you that are willing to hear, and a lot of you may want to hear, and a lot of you may not. A lot of you may not take this seriously. A lot of you may already have your pre-built-in conceptions and stuff like that. So let me show you that in Ezekiel, that's my job. Okay, let me show you that in Ezekiel, that's my job, and then we're going to go into this book, right? So remember what the Lord said, whether you hear or you forbear. You understand? That's my job. My job is to teach you. Okay? This is Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. So if ever you go into the books, these are great books of the great prophets. These are the great books. Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man. So the Savior was called the Son of Man, number one. Right? This is just a title that the Lord gives because we are sons of men. So Ezekiel was called Son of Man. Jeremiah was called Son of Man. Isaiah, all the Israelite prophets, true prophets of the Lord that are written in the scriptures, is called Son of Man. He says, eat this roll to Ezekiel and go and speak to the house of Israel. He didn't say speak to anybody else. So right now I'm talking to Israelites. If you have another nation, Ethiopia or any other madness, this is not to you. He said, open my mouth, and he caused me to eat this roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. So the roll that the Lord gave us is this book. Before, it was in scroll form, okay? And he said unto me, Son of man, go and speak unto the house of Israel, and speak my words with them. So I'm telling you, from Ezekiel, I am not a prophet. First again, let me clear this up. I'm not a prophet of the Lord, okay? I'm not a prophet. All I am is a simple man breaking down the words of the Lord, okay? And he said, for thou art not sent to people of a strange speech or of a hard language, but to the house of Israel. Not to many people of a strange speech or a hard language, whose words thou cannot understand. So I don't deal with other nations and other religions and their tongues and stuff like that. I'm not Arabic. I don't read the Quran. I don't read Arabic. Okay, I'm not dealing with these things. They're not of my people. Now be clear, disclaimer. I have no hatred to these people. I am just not dealing with no negativity of any other philosophy that is not biblical. Okay? Whose words you cannot understand. Surely have I sent you to them, they would have listened unto me. So he said, if Ezekiel was sent to other nations, the other nations would have listened to Ezekiel. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not listen unto me. So he's telling Ezekiel, we as Israelites, we're not even going to listen to Ezekiel because we wouldn't even listen to the Lord. And you know what I found? That is so true. That is so true. For all the house of Israel are impudent. What he says our nature? Impudent. Look up the word impudent. You say you read the Bible. He's pointing at you. And hard-hearted. He says, behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their forehead. As an adamant, than flint I have made their forehead. Fear them not. We are evil people. Neither be dismayed at their looks. Though they be a rebellious house, Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all these words that I shall speak unto thee, receive in thine heart and hear with thine ears, and go and get them to them of the captivity. See, we are captive right now. See that? Get to them of the captivity, and unto the children of thy people, and speak unto them, and tell them, thus saith the Lord power, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. You don't want to hear. See that? Once I tell you and I break these things down, whether you hear or whether you forbear, you're going to be judged. How do I know that? I'm going to give you one last verse and then I'm going to go to this little topic right quick. Let's go in the book of Matthew. Let's go in the book of Matthew. A lot of you playing around with this, you got your little different philosophies, your little different beliefs. You think you're going to slide in and slide out with these mad isms and schisms that you believe in. The Lord got a different thing coming for you. The Lord got a different thing coming for you. Good. Let's go up in the book of Matthew. See what the Lord got coming for you. You think you sliding in with your religions and all your dogmas and stuff like that, what you think and how this is going to be. No, it's not going down like that, my man. It's not going down like that. Matthew 12, verse 36 and 37. Listen to it well. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. You know what is idle words? Pulling up things that are not foundational in the Bible, going outside the Bible and pulling up things to justify your belief in the Bible. Pulling up lies that are not doctrinal, which is philosophy. He says, every idle word, for by thy words, the crap that come out of your mouth, thou shalt be justified. And by your words, you shall be condemned. Okay? So, letting you know. What is this little topic about? Nowhere in the Bible does the Lord glorify a woman. Nowhere in the Bible does the Lord glorify a woman and put her above a man. Okay? Nowhere. Okay? So, I'm taking a book, one of the many books that I have. It's called Babylon, the Mystery Religion, Ancient and Modern. And where are we right now? We are in Babylon. How do we know that? Let's go in the book of Micah 4, verse 10. So just so you know where the Lord is talking to you at right now, if you go in the book of Micah, the 4th chapter and the 10th verse, you will see why we are here. So I'm in the book of Micah, the 4th chapter and the 10th verse. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shall thou, I'm not even going to break this down. This breakdown here of this verse is 4 pages deep of scriptures and history. For now thou shalt go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. Where are we? We are now in New Babylon, modern Babylon. See that? The Lord put us in Babylon. So you need to know about Babylon. America is Babylon. The word Babylon comes from the word Babel. Babel means confusion. America has the spirit of the ancient empire of Babylon. The ancient empire of Babylon is the first beast. When you go to the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, okay, that is the first beast. So he says, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. How were we brought here? On ships. And there thou shalt be delivered. Here shall the children of Israel be delivered. There the Lord shall redeem thee from the hands of thine enemies. Okay? So this is where we at. So now in this book here, it's going to be short. There are many chapters about Babylon, as you see. Boom. Many chapters about Babylon. The first chapter, the source of false religion. mother and child worship. So that's what I'm going to go into. Right? The mother and child worship. And this concept of Mary and the upliftment of the woman. Now, these topics here is very, very deep. Okay? So remember, things is confusion. And the Roman Catholic Church is the mother of Babylon and the confusion of the worship of the woman. All right? So in the Bible itself, nowhere does the Lord tell you about the worship of the woman. How do we know that? Let's go into the book of 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter. 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter. Now I'm going to overrun my time. All right? This is Paul speaking. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things, and keep mine ordinances as I have delivered them to you. But I would have you know the head of every man is Christ. See that? We got a head, somebody above us. And the head of the woman is the man. So in Babylon, they elevated the woman and they elevated Mary, okay, and they gave her these pictures. They elevated Mary to be the co-mediatrix in heaven. So the Italians did that. Okay, you got to understand where these things is coming from. Okay, and the head of the woman is the man. See, we on top. He didn't say the woman is on top. Let's go to Revelation 11, verse 7. It says, for indeed a man ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God. Bang. So how did Mary get elevated? How did a woman get elevated above Christ in the Bible? You got to study these things. And the glory, but the woman is the glory of the man. See that? The woman is the glory of the man. The man is not the glory of the woman. The man is the glory of the Father. So he's cutting down Babylon right now. This is part 1. Okay? For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman. See that? But the woman was created for the man. So let me read these excerpts. I got a little bit of time from out of this book, chapter 2. It's a book that you can look up. And it's a great book, man. It really shows you, whoever put it together really shows you how philosophies and stuff was created. Now, these philosophies was created by the devil, okay, which is Revelation, the 12th chapter and the 9th verse, okay. It says, one of the most outstanding examples of how Babylonian paganism has continued to our day may be seen in the way Mary worship replaced the ancient worship of the mother goddess. Number one, there's no mother goddess in the Bible. There is no mother goddess in the Bible, okay? There is no goddess sitting next to the Lord, okay? So these are false philosophies. I'm attacking this right off the top. The story of the mother and child was widely known in ancient Babylon and developed into an established worship. Numerous monuments of Babylon showed the goddess mother Semiramis with her child Tammuz in her arms. Okay. The Chinese had a mother goddess named Xingmu, or the Holy Mother. She's pictured with the child in arms and a ray of glory around her head. See that? Bang. See that? Boom. See that? Okay, let's go. The ancient Germans worshipped the Virgin Hertha with child in arms. The Scandinavians called her Disa, who was also pictured with a child. The Etruscans named her Nutria, and among the Druids, the Virgo Patria was worshipped as the mother of God. In India, she's known as Indriani, who is also represented with child in arms, as shown in accompanying illustrations. See that? So I'm going to show you the illustration. Bang. See the light? See the light? Good. So you got two pictures here. 1, 2. You got here, here, here. Okay. In Asia, the mother was known as Sibyl and the child as Diosis. But regardless of her name and place, she was the one, says one writer, she was the wife of Baal, the virgin queen of heaven, who bore fruit, although she never conceived. So this is where a lot of people take that and think about Christ that way, okay? Some jumping a lot of stuff. When the children of Israel fell into apostasy, they too were defiled with this mother goddess worship. So we fell into that. See that? We fell into that. As we read in Judges 2:13, we forsook the Lord and served Baal and Ashtoreth. Ashtoreth was the name by which the goddess was known to the children of Israel. It is pitiful to think that those who had known the true Lord would depart from him and worship the heathen mother. Yet this is exactly what they did repeatedly. So he gives you verses, Judges 10 verse 6, 1 Samuel 7, 3, 4, 12, 10, 1 Kings 11, 5 to 11 and 5, 2 Kings 23 verse 13. One of the titles by which the goddess was known among them was the Queen of Heaven. Jeremiah 44 verse 17 and 19. Let's read that. Jeremiah 44. See, the Bible is true. Jeremiah 44, 17 to 19. All right, let's pick that up. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven. See how we are? And that's what a lot of us is doing today, trying to mix and match, come up with all kind of philosophies, ideologies, and say that it has something to do with the Bible. See that? To burn incense. And what do a lot of cats do? A lot of cats be smoking weed. Weed is nothing more than incense. You smoking weed, and you think God is down with that? You think God is down with that? You smoking your little chalices, your big blunts. You think God is down with that? You think that was David, what David was doing, that's what Christ was doing? Shows you how you're detrimental when you say you believe in the Lord, man. Pour out drink offerings unto, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals and were well and saw no evil. But since we have left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour drink offerings out unto her, we have been wanting of all things, have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. And when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings unto her, we didn't make our cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men. So now you see people going down to the ocean, you know, to the Mother Ocean and throwing flowers and all these different things, you know, to the Mother Ocean for the Middle Passage. You got all these church groups doing all this madness. Like that's what the Lord has told you to do. The ocean is nothing but water. That's all it gives, life and death. It'll give you death if you take too much, and life, you know, if you know how to pull salt water, salt is from out of it. You'll get clean drinking water. That's all it does. Okay? That's how you get regular water, because the clouds pick up the water. Okay? So you have churches now, you know, in Brooklyn, you know, they profess that they're doing something called the Mafia, you know, the ancient passage, and a bunch of them wear white and stuff, and they go down and they sing songs. Mother Goddess principle. Mother Goddess principle, glorification of the mother. The Bible does not glorify the woman. The Bible does not glorify the woman, man. What is the purpose of the woman? What is the purpose of the woman? Okay, let's go back to Genesis. Let's start there. You want to be mad at me? Just read the book. Just read the book. Genesis, the 3rd chapter and the 16th verse. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over you. Rule, purpose. Kids. Nah. Let me give you a little bit more before I have to go. Remember, I'm going to be breaking this book down piece by piece, right? The prophet Jeremiah, a brother, rebuked us for worshiping her, but they rebelled against his warning. See, whether you hear or whether you forbear. In Ephesus, the great mother was known as Diana. The temple dedicated to her in that city was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Not only at Ephesus, but throughout all Asia and the world was the goddess worship. Acts 19, verse 27. Okay, let's go to that. Okay, so you're getting scriptures and verses of this mother goddess principle. But why mother goddess? Because mother is a woman. Goddess is a being of power. Is there such a being? And I'm going to close on that. Acts 19, verse 27. Acts 19, I'm going to close up on that. This is part 1. Acts 19, verse 27. Some start at 26. Moreover, you see in here, not only at Ephesus, but all together, all throughout all Asia. This Paul has persuaded and turned away much people, saying that there be no gods which are made with hands. See that? So whatever your gods is that you got to move around, you make this a god. It's false. So that not only this, our craft is in danger to be set at naught, but also the temple of the great goddess Diana should be despised. Wait a minute. God is a man. How do we know that? Exodus 15, verse 3. Do you really believe the Bible, or are you full of crap? The Lord is a man of war. A man, not a goddess. And the Lord is his name. See that? The Lord is his name. Last verse, and I'm going to pick this up again next week or sometime during this week. Let's go in the book of Isaiah. Let the Lord speak to you. Because something is really wrong with people, man. I wonder if y'all really read this book. There's many in Isaiah, but let's start at this. Isaiah 45, verse 5. I am the Lord, and there is none else. There ain't no Diana of Ephesus. There's no Mary. There's no Barry. There's no Scary. There's none of these garbage that y'all believe in this woman principle, man. In this woman principle. There is no God besides me. There is no God. Christ is not above the Father. There's no Zeus. There's no Horus. There's no Isis. There's no Kali. There's no, none of these garbage. I girded thee, although thou hast never known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none besides me. I am the Lord, and there is none else. Listen to it well, man. There is no Diana of Ephesus. In Egypt, the mother was known as Isis, and her child is Horus. And I'm going to break all this stuff down. It is up to you whether you believe or you don't. But the judgment shall come against you. Peace.